Matthew chapter 7. Judging others. Do not judge others so that God will not judge you, because God will judge you in the same way you judge others, and he will apply to you the same rules you apply to others. Why then do you look at the speck in your brother's eye, and pay no attention to the speck in your own eye? How dare you say to your brother, "Please let me take that speck out of your eye," when you have a log in your own eye? You hypocrite! Take the log out of your own eye first, and then you will be able to see and take the speck out of your brother's eye. Do not give what is holy to dogs. They will only turn and attack you. Do not throw your pearls in front of pigs. They will only trample upon them. Ask, seek, knock. Ask and you will receive. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be open to you. For everyone who asks will receive, and he who seeks will find, and the door will be opened to him who knocks. Would any of you who are fathers give your son a stone when he asks you for bread? Or would you give him a snake when he asks for fish? As bad as you are, you know how to give good things to your children. How much more then your Father in heaven will give good things to those who ask him? Do for others what you want them to do for you. This is the meaning of the law of Moses and the teachings of the prophets. The narrow gate. Go in through the narrow gate, because the gate is wide and the road is easy that leads to hell, and there are many who travel it. The gate is narrow and the way is hard that leads to life, and few people find it. A tree and its fruit. Watch out for the false prophets. They come to you looking like sheep on the outside, but they are really like wolves on the inside. You will know them by the way they act. Thorn bushes do not bear grapes, and briars do not bear figs. A healthy tree bears good fruit, while a poor tree bears bad fruit. A healthy tree cannot bear bad fruit, and a poor tree cannot bear good fruit. Any tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown in the fire. So then you will know the false prophets by the way they act. I never knew you. Not everyone who calls me Lord, Lord will enter into the kingdom of heaven, but only those who do what my Father in heaven wants them to do. When that day comes, many will say to me, Lord, Lord, in your name we spoke God's message. By your name we drove out demons and performed miracles. Then I will say to them, I never knew you. Away from me, you evildoers. The two house builders. So then everyone who bears these words of mine and hears these words and obeys them will be like a wise man who built his house on the rock. The rain poured down, the rivers flooded over, and the winds blew hard against that house. But it did not fall, because it had been built on rock. But anyone who hears these words of mine and does not obey them will be like a foolish man who built his house on sand. The rain poured down, the rivers flooded over, the winds blew hard against that house, and it fell. And what a terrible fall it was. The authority of Jesus. Jesus finished saying these things, and the crowd was amazed at the way he taught. He wasn't like their other teachers of the law. Instead, he taught with authority. Matthew chapter 8. Jesus makes the leper clean. Jesus came down from a hill, and large crowds followed him. Then a leper came to him, kneeled down before him, and said, Sir, if you want to, you can make me clean. Jesus reached out and touched him. I do want to, he answered. Be clean. At once he was clean from his leprosy. Then Jesus said to him, Listen, don't tell anyone, but go straight to the priest and let him examine you. Then offer the sacrifice that Moses ordered, to prove to everyone that you are now clean. Jesus heals a Roman soldier's officer. Jesus heals a Roman officer's servant. When Jesus entered Capernaum, a Roman officer met him and begged for help. Sir, my servant is at home, sick in bed, unable to move, and suffering terribly. I will go and make him well, Jesus said. Oh, no, sir, answered the officer. I do not deserve to have you come to my house. Just give the order and my servant will get well. I too am a man under authority of superior officers, and I have soldiers under me. I order this one go, and he goes, and I order the other one come, and he comes, and I order my slave do this, and he does it." Jesus was surprised when he heard this, and said to the people who were following him, "I tell you, I have never seen such faith as this in anyone in Israel. Remember this, many will come from the east and from the west and sit down at the table in the kingdom of heaven with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But those who should be in the kingdom will be thrown out into the darkness, where they will cry and gnash their teeth." And Jesus said to the officer, "Go home, and what you believe will be done for you." And the officer's servant was healed that very hour. Jesus heals many people. Jesus went to Peter's home, and there he saw Peter's mother-in-law sick in bed with a fever. He touched her hand. The fever left her, and she got up and began to wait on him. When evening came, people brought to Jesus many who had demons in them. Jesus drove out the evil spirits with a word and healed all who were sick. He did this to make come true what the prophet Isaiah had said. He himself took our illnesses and carried away our diseases. The would-be followers of Jesus. Jesus noticed the crowd around him and ordered his disciples to go to the other side of the lake. A teacher of the law came to him. "Teacher," he said, "I am ready to go with you wherever you go." Jesus answered him, "Foxes have holes and the birds have nests, but the Son of Man has no place to lie down his head and rest." Another man who was a disciple said, "Sir, first let me go back and bury my father." "Follow me," Jesus said, "and let the dead bury their own dead." Jesus calms the storm. Jesus got into the boat, and his disciples went with him. Suddenly a fierce storm hit the lake so that the waves covered the boat, but Jesus was asleep. The disciples went to him and woke him up. "Save us, Lord! We are about to die." "Why are you so frightened?" Jesus answered. "How little faith you have." Then he got up and gave a command to the winds and the waves, and there was a great calm. Everyone was amazed. "What kind of man is this?" they said. "Even the winds and the waves obey him." Jesus heals 2 men with a demon. Jesus came to the territory of the Gadarenes on the other side of the lake and was met by 2 men who came out of the burial caves. These men had demons in them and were so fierce and no one dared travel on that road. At once they screamed, "What do you want with us, Son of God? Have you come to punish us before the right time?" Not far away, a large herd of pigs was feeding. The demons begged Jesus, "If you're going to drive us out, send us into the herd of pigs." "Go," Jesus told them, so they left and went off into the pigs. The whole herd rushed down the side of the cliff into the lake and were drowned. The men who had been taking care of the pigs ran away and went to the town where they told the whole story and what had happened to the men with the demons. So everyone from the town went to meet Jesus, and when they saw him, they begged him to leave their territory.